Hey gang, welcome back to another video here at Joe Daddy's Garage. In the course of this video, you may hear a chainsaw, you may hear a lawnmower, because it's Saturday. People are working on their yards and taking care of things, so please forgive me for the extra sounds. Today's video, I want to talk about a product that I recently bought that I mentioned on some of my live streams, and that is Eastwood's internal frame coating. It comes in two different colors from what I understand, green and black. In this case, I have the green finish. Now, what's in this box is basically a standard issue rattle can, paint can, that you can use with the cap that's on it, or the spray nozzle. So if I take off the top, you can see it has a standard issue nozzle, right? What comes in the package is this tube. Now this is a 24-inch tube, I believe is the length that they advertise. So 24 inches, and it's like a Teflon tube, and you can see it's got a curl to it because it was wrapped up in the packaging. So you may have to deal with that a little bit, straightening this out. You may be able to use a heat gun or hair dryer and stretch it out and get it straightened out. Now this has a cap on it that goes onto the paint can, and on the other end it has a little brass fitting that is supposed to spray out in a pattern that'll protect or cover, inside chambers or inside areas. I was trying to think of ways to demonstrate this. The whole reason I bought this was to treat the inside of the inner rocker on the Brooklyn Pony, where I had moved the mount point for the seatbelt. If you haven't seen that, I installed 3-point shoulder restraint type seatbelts in the front section of the Mustang convertible, the Brooklyn Pony, and I relocated the mount point because it was too far forward. I moved it aft, and I want to just treat the inside of that. The difficulty is I only have one hole to go through, and that is the seatbelt hole itself. So that is my access point. This product, they show it with full frame cars like GM products, big Impalas or Chevelles or whatever, and probably even Fords, big LTDs and different cars like that would have had a full frame, and they show them going in various points and spraying this product. I don't have that option, so I have to be very limited as to how I use this. Well, I want to do a demonstration because once I spray this, I don't really know what it's done. I can't see inside of there. I don't have a camera on the end of one of the internal probe type cameras. I don't have one of those, so I can't really see what it's done. So I want to do a demonstration for you to verify how this operates and let you see that maybe this is something you want to get. Now, I did buy this off of Amazon, and it was actually cheaper to buy it from Amazon, even though it showed up in an Eastwood box. So there are links on my Amazon page to the products. There's the black and the green, and so we can go further into that. The one thing that I did not buy, and I have to kind of get creative with, they sell apparently a cleaning can. So you can put this onto a standard can that they sell that has a cleaner in it so you can clean out the tube. So I'm going to have to get creative in order to clean this tube out because you don't want to let the paint dry inside of this thing. So that'll be something else that I need to deal with. Other than that, let's see what I can come up with for a demonstration. Heat gun. Better. Obviously use caution. How about that? Pretty straight. Let that cool. That'll be fine, I believe. Should be fine. Ta-da! Alright, so you want a demonstration of how it sprays, right? So what I have here is some carb spray. I'm just going to take the top off of that, put the two together, and I'm not going to push down just yet. I want to make sure that I get this nozzle out in front so you can see it, hopefully. And woohoo! I don't know if you saw that very well, but that just sprayed all over the place. Let me try that again. Okay, that looks like a pretty good pattern. So now you at least have a demonstration of what it should spray like. And now we can move on. So what I've done, if you noticed in the video, I cut up some rusty metal. Well, this happens to be the original rocker panel assembly from the Brooklyn Pony. I cut it into pieces because I want to show you some things and do a demonstration. Well, this would be the back section that would attach where the wheelhouse is. Okay, and of course this would be the end of the rocker panel. And if you look at it, that's the inside. So you'd have the outer rocker panel, the center piece or the center web, and then the inner rocker panel. And there was also stuff welded to this. There was a patch of some sort here and a variety of blah. So I cut off the outer rocker and I cut it out in a way so that you could see the inside of the structure. Now, of course, this would be facing like this. This is the top section, and there you can see the original color of the Brooklyn Pony, which was a silver blue, or blue poly, I think is some sort of name they used, or silver blue poly, something like that. And anyway, you can see the inside of the outer rocker panel. So I want to do a demonstration with this later, but for now I want to show you the inner. So here is the inner rocker panel. This is the vertical web between the two, and of course this side would be the inner. Now the only access point that I really have is this bolt hole. You know, if I'm doing it on the car, I can't get in anywhere else. So I have to work from this bolt hole. So what I plan to do, and then let me show you this, is I've already done some experimenting, and I attached a piece of welding wire from the TIG welder to the tubing. I just used some simple tape and I bent it, and I experimented a couple times with the bend. So you may have to do similar if you're wanting to do the same kind of repair, but obviously I'm trying to coat the area around the bolt hole and also the patch piece that I put in on the Brooklyn Pony. So keeping that in mind, I need to go into this hole, rotate it, and be able to spray those areas specifically. Because again, I don't have a way, when you look at the way this sprays, it sprays in kind of a forward fan pattern. It's not out to the sides, it's kind of like my fingers are, forward fan. So let's just say, you know, I have it taped on here, but if you were to pull this straight back, it's going to want to do that fan like that. Well, again, I don't have the space. I can't start way up at the front and stick it in the end and come back. So what I plan to do is insert this in the hole, manipulate it around, spray it on those areas that need to be coated, and then I will further manipulate it to where I will probably end up bending the tubing, or not the tubing, but the welding wire a little bit tighter, so that whenever I put it in the hole, I can angle it back against this inner web and have it spray this surface. And if nothing else, it should be able to run down. I can manipulate this around to get spray all over as best I can. So that is the plan, and I think that's going to work just fine. Now what I want to do is, as I demonstrate this, I want to spray paint or some paint inside of this rocker panel before I spray it into the Brooklyn Pony. And then I want to spray some inside of the outer rocker panel. But my plan is, I want to mask this off so that I can spray, and I'll have a piece of, I was thinking plexiglass, but I think I may be able to get by with like some saran wrap, something along that line, and tape this off so that you can see the actual spray pattern. So, a bit of an experiment for me, but hopefully it'll pay off. All right, I'm ready for the first experiment that I'm going to do. And as you can see, I have plastic wrapped around the outer rocker panel. I have everything taped off at this end, so I can do a demonstration. We can actually see it spray. Once I do that, I am probably going to come over here to the deck lid for the Brooklyn Pony and just spray these. I'll just insert it, spray it as deep as I can into these holes, come up different directions, try to coat everything inside there as best I can, and then probably come in up here, maybe try and maybe go into some of these holes. But as you can see, I have those masked off because I don't want overspray just going everywhere. So that will be the plan, I believe, with this first test. After that, I will move on to using the inner rocker panel, which I have there on the floor, and doing the test with the welding wire that I talked about. Now I want to point something else out. I know that Eastwood sells a cleaning chemical that you can spray through this tubing to clean it out. I know this, but I didn't order it, and I'm experimenting. So I found out that that nozzle tip will fit on a can of carb throttle body cleaner. Same configuration. So what my plan is, once I get the inner or the outer rocker sprayed and the deck lid sprayed, that I will try to clean that out with the carb cleaner. Now I know I can turn this can upside down and spray through it and probably get most of it clean, but that may only go so far. So I'm hoping that this works. Again, this is an experiment. I'm not endorsing this process. I'm letting you know right now. It may or may not work. So if it does, fine. If it doesn't, well, we've learned something. Clean. Looks like it worked. So as I showed, the tube appears to be clean from using the carb and throttle cleaner. So just something you might want to look at. Now let me tell you this. This stuff has a very strong chemical smell. Just letting you know. I'd have the fan on in the shop sucking air through the front door and blowing it out the roof vent or the gable vent. But we're going to take a look at this. And I made a mistake. I got in a hurry and I didn't shake up the can before I started, so you could see it started to spray here and then it kind of turned into clear. So I had to shake the can. Sorry, I panicked. So I'm just going to cut this across the top here. Cut this plastic. So it looks like, yeah, it looks like it coated everything. Now I did, whoo, that's strong. That is strong. I did wiggle the hose around to show it, or to make it kind of, fan around. But you can see it's still wet down here at the bottom. It's still drying. But it definitely looks like it coated all the way up inside, down in the bottom there. And of course it would have, flown down, or it would have flowed down into the pinch weld. But I had it, covered up, or at least I think it would cover or flow into the pinch weld. But for what it is, I hope that it's good rust stopper. Hey, probably worth a shot anyway. So now I want to do the inner rocker. So I'll have to get set up for that, and I'm gonna have to set this thing outside. Man, whoa! Okay, at this point I have what would be the inner rocker panel standing upright, clamped to a weight to try to make it stay vertical. And of course I'm going to put my respirator on, and I've retaped the tube so that it's on that piece of TIG wire, and if I need to I can manipulate a little bit more. And I also kind of just wadded up this end so I had something to hang on to so I could turn it. Of course I'll have the nozzle in the can, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully I can do some video on this and we can see the inside of this rocker without me having to cut it apart. I'd rather not do that. Now again, my goal is to go forward, because that's where that patch is on the Brooklyn Pony. So we'll find out. Alright, I have the garage door open, just trying to get some air in here so I can film this. But I wanted to pull back the tape on the ends here just to see, because I was only spraying, in that general area, let's say. Just wanted to see how it traveled. Well, got some on the tape, so I'll have to look in there a little bit harder, maybe with a camera if I can. And here, yeah, I mean it travels. So I guess results may vary. We'll have to look at it And again, I wasn't trying to do the whole inside of the rocker. I was just trying to do those areas where I had patched. So that represents that on the car. And then I pulled the tape off the deck lid, and you can see where it covered and where it didn't. Now, the difference is here, you know, I had tape covering this to keep paint from coming out. If you're doing this, you may want to just take that wand and, you know, walk it around different angles to get paint everywhere you can. If you look inside there, there's green, you know, kind of all over the place. Up here, looks like really good coverage, but back here, not so much. And again, I came in through this hole and had that wand, so I couldn't see what the wand was doing. So I'll probably come back in and spray some, you know, in this area here. Again, this was kind of an experiment just to see how the stuff works, how the tool works, the wand and all that. So maybe, you know, with a little manipulation, you can get it, you know, further down in these corners and try to get it to spray in there in different areas. So I think it worked out pretty good. I do want to try to do one more look inside of that rocker panel once it dries out, and hopefully without having to cut the panel apart. But if you haven't seen it, that showed up. Little Honda Accord. No, little Honda Civic. Sorry. Anyway, that might be something else I try to fix at some point. But I'll continue with this. Well, what do you think? I think the experiment went pretty well. I was able to get coating on the inside of the outer rocker with a piece of plastic, and also to get coating on the inside of the inner rocker. I've already sprayed the Brooklyn Pony, and there's not much I can do to look inside of that frame rail. This is all I really have to go by. So I think it worked. Now, Eastwood sells this internal frame coating. It comes in green and it comes in black. I chose green so I could see some contrast, and black, I'm sure it's the same product, just different colors. But again, this is available on Amazon. I think I have it listed on my Amazon page. So along with that, I believe, I've been told that there is another can that you can buy that is for cleaning out the nozzle, as I mentioned. Let me just say, again, I use this Valvoline carb and throttle body cleaner from Advance or any parts store because it had the exact same nozzle. And you saw it. It worked. It cleaned out the tube. I have no problem with it, but that was my choice. It's up to you what you want to use. Just keep it that way. Now the box comes with the can and the tube, as I mentioned earlier, and you know, I think it's pretty convenient. Now, you probably go through several of these cans if you're trying to do a variety of areas in the car. You know, if you're trying to do rocker panels or whatever, wherever, inside the doors, inside the deck lid and trunk lid, you're probably going to need 3 or 4 of these cans, I would guess. So just keep that in mind whenever you're starting to do this process. But otherwise, I think it's a good idea. So anyway, that'll be the end of this video. I want to thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. All of you that have been using Amazon, I appreciate that very much. That helps me out. All of you that have become patrons, that is very beneficial, and I thank you very much for that. And also, t-shirts. You know, Teespring sells, or they're available on Teespring. I have the Brooklyn Pony version. I also have the Joe Daddy's Garage with a Mustang on it. And there's a bunch of other items there. There's coffee mugs. There's even a dog, what do you want to call it, sweater that you can get with the Brooklyn Pony on. There's some posters and a variety of other things. But you know, if you're interested, check them out. That would be great if you got something. But if you don't, hey, that's okay too. So thanks for watching. And I'm not sure again what the next video will be, but I will be making another video, I'm sure. And when I do, you'll know about it. So until next time, take care of yourselves. See you. Hey gang, in the case of the Brooklyn Pony, I don't have a bunch of holes because it is for the seatbelt. When I put it in the 3-point harnesses. Hey gang, in this video I want to talk about hey gang with an end on it that sprays in a pattern that spreads paint throughout the internal part of hey gang, as I said, it comes in green and black. I think I said that. And I have the green. And in this case, I have the black, or the green. And I will attach the Eastwood adapter, let's say, to that. And let's see what it does when I spray it at this box. Ready?